So this is I Remember You. Man, we didn't find out a thing in this one. Everyone was building up the episode like, oh, I can't wait till he sees Remember You, and it's like, what have I learned? Nothing.
A lot of people said the same thing to me, and when I finally watched it was kind of like, why?
Yeah, it's just like
pointless.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so Marceline and the Ice King hang out, and nothing else. I mean, nothing else. No, this is a really good episode.
Horrible, awful people.
Okay, so this one, everyone watching this probably knows this episode, but Ice King is looking to write his latest ditty, and with dope lyrics, and yeah, he pretty much goes to Marceline's house because apparently they have a history, though even he's not entirely sure what the history is, and Naruto, of course, walks in the frame because he wants to distract me as always, and
no, he wants to play fetch.
Yeah, because he knows that'll distract me.
Thanks, you ready?
Now you're getting distracted. How?
I will. Ready? For the camera. Naruto, ready?
Go for it.
Sorry. He's a good boy.
Oh wait, see that again. Could talk about this episode everyone wants to see reaction to, but no, you're gonna see Naruto jump. No, I couldn't. Okay.
Go on.
Anywho, so he goes to Marceline's place and he just wants to write a song with her, and she's like, "Don't you remember anything? Don't you even know why you want to hang out with me? Don't you?" And he's like, "No, but I just want to write a song." And so they pretty much are writing this song, and he thinks it's cool if he has like a tortured past or whatever. So
don't forget he went to his past room.
Yeah. The past room, was that it, or was it the past room, or I don't know. The past room.
The past room.
The past room. Yes, which is a great joke. And goes in there, brings all his old writings and stuff, which he thinks are like just really tragic lyrics, and
still smells like tears.
It's still wet from my tears, which he thinks is just great because that means princesses dig sad guys, So
which is the author that was brought up before.
Which is the what?
Remember Finn was reading had that book, and he's like, it says in there to be mysterious. And Jake's like, no, you're not supposed to read.
That's right, the crazy author.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't catch that. So they're working on this song, and Marceline is just frustrated being around him, but we don't know why yet, and then we find out that through going through his writings that he's really lost not only his sanity, but his memory of who he was to that crown that we found out about before. And he's having fun as well. And yeah, so pretty much she starts going through all the lyrics, and apparently he came before he went crazy to look out for her. Quite clearly, after the apocalypse, there's no sugarcoating this now. I mean, it's the friggin' apocalypse. I mean, that you see the city on fire, everything's destroyed. I mean, there's just no dancing around that now. And he gives her a doll, and it looks like he sort of took care of her for a while. I don't know if it was... Was it after she was a vampire? Did we see the 2 bites on there?
You don't see the bites.
You don't see the bites.
But she has the little fangs in the ears. But...
Okay. So she could be pretending to be a vampire. But probably not.
Probably not. She probably at some point became a vampire, that's why she...
Yeah, maybe she's like, oh, I like playing as a vampire, so I can be a but unlikely. So...
Well, the stuffed animal that the Ice King gave him, remember that one?
The Ice King gave her?
Her.
Yeah. Sorry, her. Ice King gave her.
Well, it was like an octopus-ish thing, right?
No.
No.
Remember
There's a little bear with and that first time we see it, it's the eye was falling off.
Her ex-boyfriend got rid of the bear?
Yeah.
That's right. Huh, okay. So, and we pretty much find out that they had this whole story together, and the Ice King's pretty much just gone. I mean, mentally. But she's still singing with him, and she's got a little tear going down her eye and stuff, just jamming, because it's like, she's both really frustrated with him, but also cannot let him go either because of all he's done, and it's this great, big, tragic story, it's pretty effective. There's...
Oh, shit! Oh my god! Sorry about that.
Naruto! Okay, I was doing good, okay? Like, I played fetch a little bit, and then and I was distracted. But okay, I'm telling the story. I'm getting through the story, and then he did that. Okay, him, not me. I was staying focused.
Sorry.
Go on.
I'm sorry, people.
No. It's not your fault.
Well,
Actually, it is. She flicked it
her
on the
fault.
floor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, how dare you then?
Go on.
So okay. So that's the story. And yeah, it's a much more serious one, obviously, but there's still, again, there is still a little bit of comedy. It's more tragic than it is funny, but it is still kind of funny just how he does not get how this happened. He just hears these really awesome lyrics. It's like, yeah, that'll make me sound really pathetic. That'll make me sound really sad. And he's just not getting it. I really love those moments where it's, again, kind of like where they discovered his past. It's just this perfect mix of, you know, kind of funny, but also really sad. It just creates that really kind of uncomfortable bittersweet, you know, that, you know, but, you know, it's like they're still jamming, he doesn't have the memory, but, and I think anyone that, like, whatever, has a friend or a grandparent or anything that, you know, suffers from memory loss or, you know, or even just a person changing and forgetting what a person was like, I mean, can sort of see this and really kind of identify that, you know, the idea of just losing someone while they're still there. And, yeah, it was a very... I thought it was a very legit good episode, and I like how much we learn. Though I did kind of call it a little bit. This is the last thing I'll say before I'll let you guys speak. I kind of called it because...
Kinda, sorta, maybe.
Well, because there's that one episode, I want to say the last one where we find out about the Ice King's past, too, where you see his videos and he dresses up like Marceline and he's singing, and I was like, wait, did we ever see them together? I don't know if we ever saw them together.
Well, you also called, actually, when she had her book, when Finn and Jake were in Marceline's closet, and she's like, I'm going to sing about the deepest, darkest things. On her book, if I remember right, it said Gunter on it.
Yeah, that's right.
And you called that, you were like, wait a minute, why is that on there? And then you forgot all about it. Obviously.
You tell by like, oh, what'd I say?
Yeah.
I'm smart.
I said things.
But, and yeah, and I was like, could they, because when he puts the crown on, that's when, you know, everything starts going south. And also, like, you know, that, I want to say somewhere there was a hint that she was a child, like, while the city was burning, while something was on fire. So we saw something like that before, right?
Yeah.
Of her being a kid and things. So, you know, I was like, well, maybe these two kind of connect or whatever. And, yeah, I really like that they've gone this whole time without connecting these two characters, you know, in front of your face, at least. But it also kind of makes sense because they're not characters you would normally think would be together. You know, Ice King and her are kind of like, they're not even polar opposites where it's like, oh, hey, wouldn't it be fun to see these two together? They just don't seem to go, and you can't imagine, like, oh, the possibilities of Ice King and Marceline. So,
like, you don't actually see a connection. Like, you don't look at them and go, oh, there could be a possible connection there.
yeah, I mean, it's just based on their character. Oh, shut up.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
So, yeah, I thought this was really nicely done. It had much more drama to it than comedy, and it revealed a lot of good information about both characters, really. And, yeah, I thought it was really good. Jory?
I mean, saying too much cheapens it for me. I don't know. It really surprised me. I mean, I had my ideas, and it's just so beautifully done. And I think you're absolutely right. You hit it right there. It's for, you know, if you know anyone that's had some sort of memory loss, dementia, Alzheimer's, something to that effect, you know, you get it, you see it, and it's like, it's funny, but it's not. And I don't know, it was really sad and really sweet, and they're two of my favorite characters and together, and so I mean, it's really, really good. I don't know. I'm feeling feelings. It's just really nicely done for a silly little cartoon that's funny and sometimes pretty neat and has a really good backstory. This is the one where I'm like, well, shit. You know, they know what they're doing. It makes sense, and I get it. And it's really, I think, difficult for a person like myself. I like watching cartoons. I like watching anime, but it's not like I give a damn. I mean, it's like drawings, you know, but like this episode, I care about Ice King. I care about Marceline, and my jaw dropped on the floor when I realized the extent of it. I figured there was an Ice King Marceline thing going, but I didn't realize the whole, you know, I think my most favorite part that is so bittersweet is when the lyric she says where he had written down, I'm trying to save you, but who will save me? And I was like, oh shit. That just is all sorts of, I don't know, I'm serious today. That was serious.
There was
Do something.
there was it wasn't 2020. No, it was like the Sunday morning show. I don't know, but there was this reporter who did this story about his wife who was losing her memory, and I forget if it's Alzheimer's or I forget exactly what it is, but something where her memory was over time, you know, sort of fading away, and a lot of her brain was just fading away. And to a point where they finally put her, you know, they put her in a home, and he would always come visit her, and he would just, you know, she can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago, you know, and one of the things is that, you know, they try to help her see what she remembers, and she constantly talks about this guy who is clearly the husband, and she would always call him Mr., you know, this man just made me feel so happy all the time, and he's right in front of her.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd say, what's his name? And she'd just go, Mr. Happy, you know, just really happy, really. And it's one of those things, you're just watching this, and your heart is just, So, I mean, it is one of those things where you sort of look and you realize, you know, sort of the tragic comedy of this, that she's talking about a guy who's right there, but through that, it's just also the most heart-wrenching thing, and I think when you see her playing the guitar and getting the tear in her eye, and him just playing, I mean, just so into it, he's so happy playing this and stuff, and just, what a combination, just what a really, really nice balance there. So, how about you?
I really like Gunter. Well, no, in the beginning, of course, you have the Ice King dressed up as Marceline.
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
And doing the Fry song, but Gunter, you Guntered my fries, or my Gunter. And he's like, do you love me? And then you see him go, with a little heart, and he's like...
Actually, that
was
was something I really do remember. Actually, I really do like Gunter in this game. It's one of the few times where the Ice King is really legitimately nice to Gunter, whichever Gunter it is, you know, and just singing to it. And Gunter really looks like, oh, like, this is really nice. Like, he's really sort of in this ecstasy, and it's
well, then when they
very
fly
nice.
there, and they stop, and he's like, oh, and he flies in, and Marceline just waves at Gunter, and he's like, oh.
He just walks away.
Walks away. Poor little guy.
It's like, I guess I wasn't invited.
Yeah, pretty much. But he didn't fly. Ice King carried him the whole way.
Yeah.
No, when I saw this one, like, it definitely shocked me. I mean, to an extent, yeah, I kind of saw it coming, I guess you could say, but not like the extent of it, in a sense. Yeah, okay, I kind of guessed they may have had a past or something, but starting at such a young age, starting before he fully lost his mind, and you connect the teddy bear now, and going back to it, remember what she was saying about it. That's her most prized possession. Yeah. After how many hundreds of years has passed? That says something about that bear. And then finding out that it was by the Ice King, it's like, wow, that actually kind of has more significance to it.
I think he was still Simon at the time.
Well, yeah, he was Simon, sorry. And then, I mean, let me put it this way, what is interesting, I am, oh my god, I have seizures. I'm epileptic. And when I started realizing this was going on, went to the doctor, and I took a simple test. There were 3 objects that were shown to me, and...
God!
Sorry.
Thanks, destroying, you know,
I am turning
a
this off.
touching moment I'm trying to convey here.
Actually, if it's of any consolation, it's the person saying if they can make it to Cards Against Humanity Saturday, which you are hosting.
What?
So, I'm sorry, no, the phone is off. The phone is off. I'm sorry.
No, there's 3 objects I had to remember, and talk to me for maybe 5 minutes, and then I had to recall what they were. I only remember 2 out of the 3. I could not remember for the life of me the third one. And
keeping in they have to understand, though, he's got an extraordinary memory. I mean, more than a little bit above average with his memory. Normally,
For the most
it's
part, I guess.
pretty amazing and also irritating.
But, like, the scariness that it is to not remember something that far away. Like, it was, 5 minutes ago, I should remember these, you know? So, like, Ice King just not remembering anything, it kind of, like, shakes me a bit because of that. It's like, wow, I'm this young and I don't remember, 3 objects. He doesn't remember, like, anything. And then when he broke down during singing, he's bawling, shooting at the sky, going, why can't anyone love me? Why does no one love me? And, Marceline's like, stop doing this. Why are you doing this? He's like, no, keep going, while he's still bawling.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even realize why he's so upset, it seems.
No, you're absolutely right. I got that too. I felt like he didn't know why he was upset, but he knew he was upset, but he was certainly going to use this
Yeah.
for the,
He didn't know where he
Yeah.
was getting these emotions and feelings from, but hey, they work. This is awesome. And then when she pulled out, the picture, and was looked on the back, it's like, you wrote this to me. It's like, oh, this is good, sing it. And Marceline's face of like, you don't even remember writing this to me. And when how heartfelt and everything those lyrics were, just to not be able to remember you writing that. It's a scary feeling for, I think, anyone. And, anyone that has dealt with someone with... I've never dealt with anyone that had that.
Also,
My uncle, he had it, but he lived in Louisiana.
Yeah, so I
And
didn't really
he
see
died
it.
in his 40s?
No.
Was it 50s?
50s or 60s.
From Alzheimer's.
But he had early onset, and it was awful.
It was fast, but I never dealt with him specifically, so I've never been down that path. But God, I would just imagine how Marceline would feel, or how anyone would feel who actually deals with that. That's got to be one of those stab in the heart every time you see them. You're so happy to see them, but then they don't remember you at all, or the good times or bad times you've had, and it's just like, stab in the heart,
Well, and something I have to remind myself is that, Marceline and Ice King, I mean, I keep forgetting, they're, whatever, a couple hundred years old, something like
About
that?
1,000.
About 1,000 years old, and when she's discovered, I mean, she's, a little kid, and he's, he doesn't even have the crown on his head, so he's going through his transformation, if even.
Well, if you notice, he had some of the hair in his skin was blue.
And he's carrying the crown.
Yeah.
It was hanging on his belt loop,
Yeah, so, but he doesn't have it on his head like the whole time, I mean, he's still taking it off every once in a while, so, I mean, that's not just, like, a long time, that's, like, an unnaturally long amount of time, and it kind of makes more sense, too, why you didn't always see them together before. You can see probably at some point, she's like, dude, I have to have something normal mentally to connect. I can't be around you, and I'm sure, I had time to go chase princesses, or you'll go do that. And, there probably is this long period of time where they just won't see each other, and then when they meet up, it's like, oh, like, these feelings are back again, and on top of that, maybe new disappointing ones of how far gone is he, so it's, it was really, it was... Like you said, there's hints here and there, and you get a little bit of a feeling, but not quite to this extent. You don't think they're going to lay this much that they haven't really dealt with. They haven't really dealt with this, and not on this scale.
Yeah.
In the show, so it really did sort of come out of nowhere.
Well, one thing that I really like, sorry to cut you off, going back to the first episode where Marceline is introduced. Remember, she's been traveling around, and she's been finding new homes consistently. This episode brings up potentially the reason why. She says, I'm always looking for a new place to go, and you always end up finding me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, actually, that was
She's
something I
trying to
remember.
distance herself from
she's trying
him.
to distance it, and it's...
And he doesn't even know why he keeps coming around. So, I mean... It's one of those, where it's like, wow, and again, I don't know if they planned that in advance, probably not, but, I mean, a great way to just connect the dots, I feel.
Yeah, and I think there's, it's something where, people can argue whether or not it's selfish or you just need to save your own mental sanity, but, there is something where it takes an unbelievable amount of commitment to, and like I said, sacrificing your own sort of mental status to look after someone who has something like what the Ice King has.
Yeah.
And she probably knows I'm not fit to do this, and I can't do it. And like I said, whether you want to argue that's her trying to save herself or that's her being selfish, well, whatever angle you want to take, she split from him and said, I need my own life.
Well, okay, human beings, we live for, or what counts, I guess you can say, 70 years. Because you take out, because even if you live to 70 for the good first 10 years of your life, it's kind of like you're just growing up, maybe. Okay, we'll grow, say, 100 years. Imagine 10 times that.
Yeah.
Living for 1,000 years. And they're both still, quote-unquote, young. There's no signs of them
especially
slowing
her,
down.
I mean, she's, technically, or what she appears to be.
Yeah.
I think personally, and I'm probably wrong, but I really think that she wasn't a vampire right away, and sometime when she was a teenager, she got bitten, so she's aging, but she hasn't aged physically anymore because of that.
Well,
I think.
they're both aging, but it's kind of like the crown is making him immortal.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, or at least extremely slowing down his aging process. And the fact that she's a demon
Yeah.
and a vampire
Yeah.
is completely slowed her down. So, bringing up the whole thing of, is it selfish that she needs alone time? Yeah. Anyone that has to deal with that now, imagine dealing with that for an eternity.
Yeah.
Hundreds of
There
years.
is a difference between a lifetime and 10 lifetimes.
I always say, people have to deal with, someone that has some sort of, mental imbalance, whether it be like extreme depression or bipolar or whatever that, whatever you have, depending on how extreme it is. I always say, look, there's nothing wrong with, being with a person that has depression, bipolar, any of that, but I mean, just be prepared. It takes a lot of commitment and it takes a lot of sacrifice, if anything, it's not fair to the other person to not be ready for that.
Yeah.
To not commit to that.
Well, our friend's mom has MS.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
ever since it was at least high school, right?
No, she was already paralyzed in high school, but I remember in high school, I think our sophomore year, she was still able to drive, in one of those, special van things, because she was in a wheelchair, but she was still able to drive us.
But I mean, that's all he does now, is has to take care of her.
Life.
I mean, and he does it because he loves her and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I can imagine just wanting to break out for a day and go do something, and sometimes you just can't. It's kind of scary. If that ever happens to you, I'm throwing you in a ditch. No, kidding. I won't kill you, but I'll throw you in a ditch.
Throw me in a ditch.
Natural causes will kill you.
It's dirty.
Exactly.
Oh, throw me somewhere clean.
Well, you know what?
Soft pillow. Throw me on
I'll
pillow.
I'll go to one of those mattress
Break
stores.
into Doug's house and throw me on his bed.
There you
Let him
go.
take care of me.
I don't want to take care of her. She's a handful just the way she is.
Yeah, but your wife is too nice. She would take care of me.
She would, and that scares me too.
Sweet.
That only scares me.
See you later.
I like her.
Sorry.
She'll take care of me.
Sorry, we kind of got off subject.
Sorry.
Not such. We talk about these incredibly serious matters, and we're talking about where we're going to dump Jory.
Yeah, every other day isn't a discussion about where you're going to ditch me. God, you guys are the worst.
By the way, I did really love... This one had a more delicate balance of comedy and drama. The one, Holly Jolly Secrets... It was like comedy.
And then, boom! Yeah.
And I can see even after that impact, it kind of being like, well, it could still be taken as a joke or this or the other thing. Like how you were saying with the glasses. But, this one was a lot more of a delicate balance. Where he's like, it was one of those where he's like, one of these? And Marceline goes up and you see in her face, it's, just a cartoon, and she has just tiny eyes, no nose, and all that stuff. But you just kind of see with just the added lines how happy and sad she is at the same time. And then he tries to kiss her, and he's like, "No!" What? It was this nice moment, and then it's like, that's got to be disgusting for her because she doesn't look at him
That's
She
her
looks-
father figure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then to toss it on top that, he doesn't even remember anything. It's like
Well, it's like that's the
tragedy
ultimate.
funny.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate. I don't want to say insult, but the ultimate moment where it's like you really are gone because you don't even know like our relationship.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, because
Yeah.
he didn't see anything wrong. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I do, and it's just hitting her. Wow, none of this is clicking at all.
Because when he pushed it, when he was like, "Oh," and she's like, "Ah," I was like, "Ah, oh, ah."
And
Yeah,
even I think that's it. Even though there were funny moments, it was still kind of sad. Even when even when he like runs to the fridge and jumps up on, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to push you. I'm so sorry. And
It
it's
reminds me of a cat.
yeah. And at first I was like, oh my god, he's like a cat, ha ha ha. But at the other hand, you're still remembering like, oh my god, this is so pathetic. Like here's this man that took care of her and is pretty much a father figure to her, and he's like a freaking cat.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny, and this episode did that a lot in a very, very good way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where you could actually watch it again, and a lot of the stuff that we were laughing at, we could look at now like, oh,
Yeah.
like that's pretty gut wrenching now. Actually watching it, and I think you're right compared to the Christmas one, where it just slammed it on you at the end. I mean, and to me, it's like everyone's like, you only took it as a punchline. No, I see it as both. I see it as this great big dramatic moment that's unbelievable, but putting it there makes it unbelievably funny as well.
Yeah.
In this one, it's a very well paced, sort of segue and decline, of just going from something really happy and goofy, him singing to Gunter and stuff, to just this. You're learning more and more, and there's even a few times it's like I'm laughing a little bit, but it's like you saw like the laughs just got fewer and fewer and smaller and shorter, and I'm
And then
like,
it was all silence.
yeah.
here.
Then it's just like. Okay, even like with Finn and Jake, like, what are they doing? I have no idea. Like, that would usually get a laugh, but here it's just like, no.
Well, I did love when Finn and Jake busted in, and they're like, "Oh, you already have him." And Jake goes up and does this other voice.
Like the trailer voice.
I don't like how you treat women, And he makes some of this, just like, "Oh, you can leave him." What? And Eskin's like, "Yeah, what?" And, it's one of those, because she's like, "Get out, get out, get out." But upon him just getting tangled up in the cord, she sees how pathetic he is, and it's like, well, crap, what the fudge?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so,
But yeah, it was great watching this and looking at both of them, because obviously I already knew what was coming, and watching their reactions. Jory I was expecting you to cry. Like, honestly, I was expecting you to start crying. Doug, you just looked shocked, and I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a tear coming down your cheek. And neither of them cried. They're both heartless bastards.
It was right there.
it was, it really takes a friggin' lot for me to cry at something.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say this, if this episode was maybe, it's perfectly paced, it's fine the way it is. If it was maybe 5 minutes longer, it probably would have gotten me. Yeah, just to see. I'm very much. I like Wagner music. I like music that takes you need hours for something to set in order for it to. It has to really lower my defenses, and that usually takes time.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't at all mean it's not very emotional.
Oh yeah.
And well done. So yeah, good. I can see why everyone talks about it. Like, I can't wait for him to see this. I can't wait to see what he.
It's not the one I'm waiting for you guys to see, though.
No? What's the one you want us to see?
I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Well, that's no fun!
No, because, this one had so much of a build-up, your expectations are so high. So even if it's a great episode, you're still kind of like, well, okay, everyone said it was great, so it lived up to expectations.
People talked this damn thing up, and I was like, oh, God, here we go, and... Yeah, no, you all were right.
Yeah,
Holy
no, this really
crap,
was
okay,
right.
Hold on, though. I don't know about you, but I know. Anytime you hear people talking up stuff, you instantly knock it down like 10 pegs. And you're like, it's probably going to be complete and utter garbage.
Yeah.
So, of course, this is going to work for you.
Well, now, of course, shouldn't it be that you're surprised or it's just so freaking good that even added 10 more of those pegs, maybe added 10 more on top of it?
It's just people build up so much expectation for something, and I get it, and it's weird, because on the one hand, yes, obviously, if it's amazing, you want everybody to know, just how freaking awesome and amazing it is. But then if everybody's saying that, you're like, ugh.
Yeah,
It's probably not. Calm down.
Yeah, it's tough because I know where people are coming from too. Like, this had such an emotional impact on me. I really want you to have that emotional impact too, and I
Yeah.
want to talk about it because it's so good. I still have emotions about it. I want to share those emotions with you. So go watch it so we can share those emotions. And it's like I
Yeah.
get it. I know why people build it
Yeah.
up, but yes, it can backtrack too. I've certainly had stuff that's been built up, and I was sort of like, oh, okay, well, it's good.
So that's not why I'm telling you. If it comes up
Good.
and you like it or you hate it, then we can talk about it.
Okay, fair enough. But now, everyone's gonna be like, what's the episode? What's the episode? So,
Most people can probably guess what it is, honestly. It's not some bizarre, strange episode. Well, I mean, maybe.
Well,
No,
you are
because
bizarre and
we're
strange.
actually coming upon a few episodes that I really, really enjoyed. One made my jaw hit the floor, one got me teary-eyed, and the other one I was just like, wow, they took Finn and they put him through the ringer.
well, let's
3
get.
separate episodes.
Wow.
So the Lich, Finn the human, and Jake the
No.
dog?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
It's down the road a bit.
I mean, those aren't the next ones we're watching.
I think Doug was going to say something.
I was just gonna say, shut up so we can get to this.
Okay.
You have obviously, both of you have added nothing to this, so
No.
Not a one.
no.
So glad I wasted
hate people.
your time. I'm not leaving this time. Screw all y'all.
I just wanted to get my drink.
We'll just all sit here and be
Wait.
miserable with each other then.
Don't look at me, I don't know. Well, maybe Mountain
so
Dew will
cute.
sit there and be like, yes, he's on there drinking all the time. We'll sponsor you.
Oh my god, that would be great. Mountain Dew, please.
It is all he drinks.
We do give half our paycheck to you anyway.
Yeah, that's like no different.
Just saying.
So,
Oh, by the way, really quickly, as the last thing I want to say, I don't care. Taco Bell, they have a new flavor of Mountain Dew.
They have lots of new flavors.
No,
of
I'm
Mountain
saying
Dew.
just of actual Dew. Because normally they have the Baja Blast. They now have a sangria flavored one.
of Mountain Dew?
Yes. it's
actu-
horrible.
I like it.
It is horrible.
I think it's pretty good.
It is
Imagine something
awful.
horrible at Taco Bell.
Hey,
So go there
hey,
and try
watch
it.
I love my
It's
Taco
better than
Bell.
the Superman one.
Superman.
Yeah, they had a Superman flavored Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm so glad this episode could get us talking about deep things, but it all comes back to Taco Bell
And Mountain Dew.
and Mountain Dew. So, with that said, later. You ever have those Cine mini bites?
No.
They're incredible.
They look kind of gross.
No, they're the Taco Bell ones.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, I see the picture, it looks like it's pooping.
Really?
Really?
Oh. I like their caramel apple empanadas.
No, that's gross.
I just like
Are
their
you kidding me?
tacos.
It's freaking fabulous. It's delicious.
I just like their tacos.
That's the one thing you don't get there.
Taco.
You know what I had recently? The chili cheese burrito or something to that effect?
Bye!